So we have a situation where there's several experiments being done on two carts as they travel along a horizontal surface. They have the same mass of 1 kilogram. So the three experiments are shown in the table. Which one does the center of mass of the system have the greatest change in momentum? So we're now talking about a system, and we want to know which one has a greatest change in its momentum. Well, so the first thing is when we have a system, the delta P should be 0. So in looking at the choices, experiment 1, 2, 3, we should be looking for choice D to be our answer. We're talking about the change in momentum of the system. But let's consider then. So we look at the table, and we have initial, final, final. So there is this split in the middle here of what's going on before. Now the initial velocity, and we know the mass is 1, so mv is 1. And the initial velocity of cart y, 0 times 1 is 0. So we have a total momentum of 1. And then afterward, we have 0 times 1, which is 0, and 1 times 1, which is 1. So we have 1 beforehand and 1 afterwards. So there's no change. Delta P is 0. Consider the second case. 1 times 1 is 1. The next case, negative 1 times 1 is minus 1, which gives us a total momentum of 0. Is the total before. We have minus 1 times 1, which is minus 1. And 1 times 1, which is 1, which gives us a total momentum of 0. So again, we have delta P equals 0. And in the third case, we have 2 times 1, which is 2. And 1 times 1, which is 1, which gives us a total momentum of 3. And afterward, we have 1 times 1, which is 1, and 2 times 1, which is 2, gives us a total momentum of 3. And again, the change in momentum is 0. So we should be able to answer this question without even looking at the data. We should be led toward D, but we could see in this case that the change in momentum is 0 in every case. So in this case, the center of mass, it turns out, is an important concept in the conservation of momentum. But it's really irrelevant in this case because the change of momentum of the system is 0. We can calculate that for each experiment.